In this video, we're going to go over instructions for slide 50 in your personal narrative writing digital interactive notebook. So stay tuned. For slide 50, if you have an update, make sure you update it before you begin. The directions are at the top of slide 50 on the left side. Read through the definitions and examples, then match them up in the story vocabulary by clicking and dragging. So in the definition column, it's a dashed box, so everything in this column goes in the dashed box. For the example, everything in the example column goes in the center of each row. So let's look at something easy. This is about Little Red Riding Hood, and I could already see that in the woods at Granny's house a long time ago, or once upon a time. Here's an example of a setting. And what is the definition of a setting? Time and place, and that goes there. So you're going to complete the process using these examples and sort them into the right side of the story vocabulary sheet. For slide 51, if you have an update, make sure you update it before you continue. For the directions, for this activity, your teacher will read to you about the plot pyramid. Let's practice your listening skills by writing details you hear about each part of the plot. All of these boxes are editable. So as you listen to the plot, you're going to write down 3 details about the climax, 2 details about the rising action, 2 details about the falling action, 4 details about the resolution, and looks like 3 details about the exposition. So I'm going to read to you some information about the plot. As I read, you can pause and type at any time. The directions for slide 51 are: for this activity, your teacher will read to you about the plot pyramid. Let's practice your listening skills by writing details you hear about each part of the plot. So you can pause, listen, and write anytime you want. You have control of the audio. I'm going to read to you a few paragraphs about the plot, and I want you to listen to each description and add 2 details to rising action, 3 details to climax, 2 details to falling action, 4 details to resolution, and 3 details to exposition. When you are asked to consider a story's plot, you can make your job easier by dividing the plot into 5 parts: exposition or opening, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution or the ending. The exposition is the first part of the plot. In the exposition, the author establishes the setting, introduces the main characters, and gives additional background information. The character's setting and basic situation are revealed. The inciting incident sets the story in motion to make the rest of the story possible. The rising action is the series of conflicts or struggles that build a story or a play towards its climax. Tensions rise. This is the main part of the story, and it moves the plot along, and this is where the complications arise. The climax is the high point or turning point of a story. It is usually the most intense point. It's the most exciting part of the story for the protagonist, the OMG, usually a turning point. The falling action is the action that works out the decision arrived during the climax. The conflict is or begins to be settled during the falling action. Usually the events that follow the climax lead to the resolution. Even minor conflicts begin moving towards a resolution. Finally, we have the resolution. It's the ending. It comes after the falling action and is intended to bring the story to a satisfactory close. Loose ends of the plot are tied up, the remaining questions are answered, and conflicts are resolved. All right, boys and girls, that concludes the audio for this exercise. You can replay this anytime. Have a great day.